bored of regularities, living all the dreams, playing all the games, and getting high on love.
Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. So for this week's 3 Looks 1 palette, you guys voted for the Colourpop Main Squeeze. I started filming this before I got my Menagerie Whale Song and before Jawbreaker and all that stuff. I don't know what goes up first, but that's why this one's up before those, because it just, timeline-wise, that's how it happened. I had a lot of fun playing with this. It is looking like this in case you haven't seen it. It is one of Colourpop's monochromatic palettes. This is the red one. I do feel like this pulls more corally red than red in my opinion, but it's a really cute palette. It was fun to work with, simple to use, and I'm excited to share these looks with you. As you saw from the intro, I did this very smoky red look. I did more of that intense goldish red half cut crease look, and then I did that more simple soft goldy orangey look. I don't know how to explain these looks because they're all so similar, but they're all different as well. If you want to watch me create them and then hear my final thoughts on the palette, then I guess let's just move on. Alright, hello! Today is Thursday afternoon, and we're gonna play with the Main Squeeze palette. Obviously, you know why you clicked on this video. I think I want to start by taking Frose and running that all through my crease. I actually used that as my blush today, and I'll probably use it as my blush for the rest of the looks in this video, because it's a really cute shade. I'm just taking a fluffy brush. I honestly don't know where this one's from. There's no name on it anymore. It's just that old, but it's just a fluffy blending brush. I'm just running that all the way from inner to outer corner. And I don't know, you know how I start my looks. I want to do something pretty simple today. I mean, it's still going to be very vibrant and impactful just because it's that kind of a palette, but I don't want to do anything too ham today. I love this Frose shade so much. I don't think I own this shade in any other palette. It's just so cute. Winging it out a tad bit, and this is where we're at so far. Now I want to take the shade Seed Money right here, and I want to deepen it up just a little bit. I'm taking this brush. It's like a rounded tapered blending brush, so it can kind of work as an eyeshadow brush but also blend into the crease really nicely. So I like to use this kind of a brush for my outer corner sometimes. I'm just really placing that down, working it through the rest of the crease just a little bit, but mostly just focusing it in this outer corner. I've gotten asked a couple of times if I feel like this palette is true red or if it pulls more pink, and I do feel like it's pretty red, but I do feel like it is a tad pink-ish. Like, it's definitely not going to be your My Chemical Romance fantasy, you know what I mean? But it's so pretty and it blends so well. I mean, this is only my second time playing with it, but so far I really enjoy it. So now I want to take Maraschino, and I want this to go all across the lid because, I mean, that's just what I want to do, you know? I don't have a good excuse, I don't have a good reason, I just want to use it. I think I tried to use that shade in my first impressions actually. I tried to put it on top of Home Slice and I didn't like the look of it, so I want to use it by itself. This one is from SL Miss Glam. I think I got it in BoxyCharm forever ago. Taking some of my NYX glitter primer first though and tapping it all across my lid. So I use that with all of my shimmers. I don't think I could live without doing that now. Dipping right into Maraschino with that same brush. I'm going to start working it. I think I want to just keep it in the outside half. I think I want to use the gold in the inner half. I think that would be pretty. Just going to pop this on the other eye since I have leftover on the brush. Now I want to take the shade Juicy Fruit, and I'm just going to use that exact same brush, but I'm going to flip it over so it's the other side. And I want this to go in the front half of my eye. And just kind of melt them together. And then I'm just going to go back and forth between both sides of that brush until they join together in holy matrimony. And now I'm just going to take that very first blending brush just to soften the edge just a little bit. And now I think I want some shimmer on the lower lash line. I think that could be really pretty. So I think I'm going to take Maraschino again on just a little pencil brush. I want to focus that kind of right in the tear duct zone of my lower lash line. Really like the look of that. I feel like it adds some really nice interest. And I'm mostly focusing it up here, and when I have less product, I will lightly start dragging it towards the middle. But I don't want it going all the way across either. I'm going to take that brush that I used with the second matte shade just to smudge. I think that just adds such a cute little point of interest. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I love shimmers on that lower lash, especially in the front. Now for my inner corner, I could highlight with Juicy Fruit, but it's just not my kind of shade for highlighting. I want a brighter shade, so I'm going to use what I use for my face highlight. I'm going to use this one from Apocalyptic Beauty. It's called The Bright Side of Life. If you decide to pick this up, you can use my code beautbean for 15% off. And I'm just going to swirl my brush in it and pop that in my inner corner. It's a really pretty gold-based highlight. And I feel like it complements kind of this vibe of the palette nicely. I'm just dipping in a little bit at a time because it is a loose highlight, so it can be messy if you're not careful. Just going to blend that edge out. Now, what do I want in my waterline? I'm actually dying to use this shade. It is called UNTZ. I don't know if that's supposed to be a word, but I'm not going to try to say it because that doesn't make sense to me. But it's from Colourpop. It's this neon orangey one. But I was told to get this because it pulls more corally than orange. So I'm going to put this in my waterline. Whoever convinced me to get this, thank you, because that's really cute. I like that a lot. It's like the perfect neon-y orangey coral. It's not like the perfect pairing for this palette, but I think it looks really cute and it kind of goes with what's going on the lid. Well, that was quick and easy, but I think it's really, really pretty. I'm going to be very content wearing this for the rest of my day when I go to work after this. So I'm going to do the other eye now, throw on my lashes, something on my lips, and that'll be it. So this is the end of look number 1. What do you think? I think for it being so simple and so little time, I think it's really pretty. Even despite how easy it was, I think it's really pretty. I like the dimension of those shimmers across the lid. I keep staring at my own eyeballs and I think it's really cute. My lashes are the Rouge and Rogue Miss Fury lashes. They are literally almost dead though. I don't know if they'll make it to the end of this 3 looks 1 palette video. And on my lips is a new Lime Crime Plushies. This is in the shade Pouf, and I literally think this could become like one of my new favorite lip colors. It's such a good tone. I love it so much. I feel like it's one of those colors that can complement pretty much any eye look ever. And I like this whole look just put together. I think it's really pretty. It was really quick, really simple, and I really like it, and I hope you guys do too. Let's move on to look number 2. All right, it is Friday, the day after yesterday's, and we are on look number 2, and I'm ready for it. I want to start by taking Big Gulp. I haven't used that shade yet. It's kind of the lighter, more orangey based one. And I'm just taking that same fluffy brush that I used with Frose in the first look. I just wiped it off. And I'm just going to start running that all the way from inner to outer corner. And I do want a pretty winged out look with this. I have a vague idea. I want this to be another kind of simple look, but I want it to look like we put a lot of effort in. I'm also going to take that just a little bit under the outside corner of the lower lash line. So cool, I love that. Alright, now I want to take Seed Money again. I used that in the first look. I'm actually just going to use the same brush that I used in that look. I'm going to just kind of start deepening up the outer corner yet again, but just keeping it very focused right in the crease and then kind of winging it out again, just kind of following that line and then taking it a little bit under that lower lash as well. I'm not going to spend too much time with this shade just because I don't want this shade to take over. I'm going to go back in with that first brush now just to help with the blend. I feel like I need to add a little bit more Seed Money through the actual crease, so I'm just using the brush without dipping into any more product, just to build it up in here just a little bit. I felt like it was getting a little lacking. And I'm just going to go back through with that first brush to again buff and blend. I'm now going to take Juicy Fruit right here, and I'm just going to kind of do sort of a cut creasey sort of thing, but I'm not going to actually use concealer because I don't feel like it. I want to keep these looks more on the simple side. And I'm just going to use this flat brush from OMFG Cosmetics and the NYX Glitter Primer. I just have a little dot of it on my brush. And I'm going to pat that across the lid. Dipping right into Juicy Fruit, I'm going to start laying that down and cutting the crease. I'm just taking that right up against where I would naturally cut it with concealer. And I'm going to swing it all the way around. I'm actually going to try to do an actual cut crease for once, but I'm going to try doing the faux cut crease style because concealer cut creases don't work for me. And I'm just going to fill in the front half with this shade, and I'm going to go in with a different shade in my outer area. This was kind of a snap decision because really you didn't have to put all that dark down there if we were going to be doing this. I don't know, guys. I feel so uncomfortable. I'm covering this back up. I just don't like a full cut crease. It's just not my jam. It's just not. I do, however, want to take Baywatch, and I want this kind of in the bottom portion. I just have a smudgy brush. It's just what I grabbed. It doesn't really matter what you use though. But I want this kind of in the bottom half of what we're doing. Really, if I was to do this again, I would just stop it at a half cut crease and not try to do a full cut crease. I just don't like them on me. There's nothing anyone can say to change my mind. Oop, we getting some fallouts. Getting some fallout. I'm taking just a tiny little bit of seed money in this outer corner again, just to re-deepen, and then taking that first brush with no additional product just to help buff and blend even more. And I want to take that brush that I used with the gold just to kind of merge those together. And I want to take my beauty sponge to pat over this edge as well, just to buff and blend my outer corner some more. This look is very neutral from what I normally go for. I want to take that Baywatch shade again, that darker shimmer, and I want to smoke this out underneath that lower lash line. Then I'm just going to take that very first brush we used to help buff and blend it out and help it connect to that outer corner. And I mean, now that's really left is to highlight my inner corner. I'm going to use that same Bright Side of Life from Apocalyptic Beauty in my inner corner. Just taking that same brush and popping the shade for a little highlighting moment. For my waterline, I don't even know what I want. This look is very, not up my alley, but I know it's up some people's alley. More neutral, simple. I think I'm gonna go in with this, what's this one called? Rose Glow from Pixi. I'm gonna pop this in my waterline. Just kind of a bronzy, metallic, rose goldy kind of look. I feel like I want glitter in my cut crease. I think I'm gonna get some glitter. I actually have this one from Stila called Rose Gold Retro, and that'll go perfect with my waterline stuff. So I'm just taking some of that product on this little flat brush, or little eyeliner brush, I should say. And I'm just gonna kind of go right where that faux cut crease starts and start laying down this glitter to give it some extra pop. Glitter actually helps tremendously with giving it that extra little oomph. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think that was a good move. Gives it just a little bit more elegance, and I guess that's pretty much it. I'm gonna do the other eye now, throw on my lashes, something on my lips, and we will finish this up. All right, this is the end of look number 2. I hope you like it. I was starting to doubt myself doing the second eye. I felt like it looked very similar to the first look, and granted it does, but it's also a monochromatic palette. A lot of these shades are very similar, especially with those shimmers. If you pop any of those crease shades in and then pop any of those shimmers and you switch it up even just slightly, even by doing just a different crease color, it's gonna look very similar. This is like the muted, slightly more orange-based version, and the fact that it's more orange-based might be why I'm kind of not feeling it because I don't love oranges on me, but you guys really seem to. And this is a very more simple, muted look. I'm gonna make sure tomorrow's look is very much more vibrant, smoky, bright, dark. I'm gonna make that one as bold as possible because I want some difference in it, but I'm already realizing that this is a very limiting palette as far as the kinds of looks that you can create. If you paired it with other palettes, it would be great. I feel like even that Just My Luck palette had more versatility than this one. This one just seems to have a lot of, like, it's too similar. And looking at it in person, it doesn't look like it's too similar, but I mean, they blend out to look very, very similar. But I'm not complaining or anything. I'm just trying to, I don't know, rationalize it in my head because I almost feel bad that this look is similar to the first one, but I can only be so different, you know? And it's still pretty and it is different. It's just, this whole video is gonna be all the same color scheme is what's gonna get to me. But anyways, I hope you liked the second look. These are the same Rouge and Rogue Miss Fury lashes, and on my lips I have the Colourpop Ultra Blotted Lip in Doozy. I do think it's pretty. I think it's cute. The glitter definitely added that little touch. And I'm excited for look number 3. So let's just move on. All right, hello, look number 3. It is a few days after the last, after look 2. It's been a few days because I had other things to film. I rushed to get that Menagerie Whale Song palette first impressions up, but it's been a few days. My hair might be lighter because it's washed. It's very clean. I primed my eyes with the Smashbox. This is not the Smashbox, the Sigma Eye Base. I feel like really overwhelmed because tonight, the day that I'm filming this, I'm going to be on the Half Cousins podcast with Lacey and Georgia Harris, and I'm freaking out. I'm so nervous. Whew, you guys will be able to watch it after, when this is up, because that would have already happened, and hopefully it goes well, but I am so scared. I'm kind of shaking a little bit. But I wanted to film this look. I needed to get ready anyways, and I was hoping maybe filming and talking with you guys would help me feel better. And I want to do something very smoky, very grungy, but also bright. And I guess I'm going to start with this one. What is this called? Red Bottoms, the dark red. And I'm going to take this brush. It's from Colourpop. It's kind of a tapered blending brush. And I like this because it can kind of work good to pack shadow across the lid while also blending it in the crease. And my bangs are going to drive me nuts because they're so clean. Ooh, but yeah, I'm going to be on that podcast and I'm so scared. I guess we're talking about the professional beauty industry since I am a hairstylist. I work in that field. Oh, and I'm so scared. I think it's going to go fine, but I'm just so scared. They're just such cool people and I'm a wee bit intimidated. They're just such awesome people and I look up to them so much and I don't want to disappoint. Oh man. But that's my day. It's Sunday. I'm just taking that shade all across my lid and running it kind of through the crease just a little bit. The shade's actually really nice. I'm just dipping in a little bit at a time because I don't want it to get too much too fast. So if you see me dipping into the pan a lot, it's not because it's not pigmented. It's just I'm dipping in very lightly. I'm going to also start smoking that out kind of right underneath that lower lash line. With this look, we're actually going to channel My Chemical Romance. I know in the second look I said that it can be hard to. I think maybe in the first look I said that these are just the red tones that you can't really get that kind of vibe, but I'm going to try with this one by really playing with this darker red. We'll kind of see how it goes. All right, this is it. This is the final look. What do you guys think? Okay, that wasn't very funny. I want to take Like It's Hot now, and I want to take that on this kind of medium-sized blending brush. This is a Spectrum B06, and I'm going to take that kind of right in the crease. I'm not going to carry this too high or anything like that. Just directly in the crease to start adding that brightness and buff and blend that darker shade out. I'm really liking this palette. It's definitely not my favorite palette I own in the world just because this isn't totally my color scheme. I can't speak. You guys know I typically go for more cool tones for the most part, even though my hair is this cute peachy color. Although I don't know what color you'd call it now. It's faded so much. I still don't gravitate towards warm tones as much, but I do still like this palette. I think it's very cute, and I think I mentioned it in my Get Ready With Me, but my friend Rachel gave me this palette as a surprise, and I'm so thankful. Thank you, Rachel. She's a sweetheart. She has the prettiest hair. I love doing her hair. It's so long and naturally like the prettiest pale blonde ever. Never colored it a day in her life, and she's just so lucky. And now I have a clean blending brush. There's absolutely nothing on it, and I'm just going to start buffing that out even more. I don't want to use that Frose shade because that will start making this look turn more pinkish, and I want it to stay pretty red. I'm not even going to wing this look out like crazy. I just want this to be a pretty standard red smoky eye. Super simple, but also very dramatic and impactful. I love it. It's very cute. And I also really want to use this Home Slice shade just a little bit. Wow, that's a really awkward way to show you that kind of shimmery shade. I'm just going to use my finger. I don't use my fingers for shadows very often. I'm not even going to lay down glitter primer because I don't necessarily want it metallic or anything. I just want to add a little pop of this red across the lid just to make it even more, I don't know, even more red of a look. You could obviously do this with an eyeshadow brush, but I don't feel like dirtying a brush, you know? Just gonna take that brush I just used, that more clean brush, just to buff around these edges some more. I'm going to tap underneath my lower lash line especially, just because I feel like it's starting to get pretty blown out, which I do like that, but there's also a limit. I'm loving the way this is looking so much. I think for my inner corner, I'm gonna take my same face highlight, the Apocalyptic Beauty Bright Side of Life. And I'm just gonna swirl that in my inner corner because I think it's a really pretty gold-based highlight. It's what I have on my face, and gonna go to town. I love this. This did not take very long, but I think it's very pretty. I feel very myself, very grungy, very cool. I guess, what do I want in my waterline? We have this conversation every time. Oh, I wish so bad I had that red liner from Colourpop. That would be perfect for this. I think I'm just gonna do a nude. Let's keep it simple today. This is called Honeydew from Colourpop. So that is where we're at with that. I suppose I'm just gonna go do the other eye now, throw on my lashes, something on my lips, and we'll finish this video up. I'll give you my final thoughts on this palette. All right, this is look number 3. I really like it. I feel really good in this look. I think it's really pretty. It's very grungy, very dramatic, but it was also really easy. This palette's very simple. You don't have to have, I feel like, too complex of a skill set to make this work, in my opinion. I think it was really easy to use, and I liked the looks I created, and I really like this one. This one's most likely my favorite. I went with my Lashes Out lashes from Bold Face Makeup. My Miss Fury ones finally kicked the bucket. They literally ripped in half. So now I'm on a new pair of lashes, and my lipstick is the Fern Lip Blaze from Lime Crime. I'm so obsessed with this lipstick, it's not even funny. It's so pretty. But yeah, this is the third and final look. Let's just move on to the end of the video now. All right, that's it. Those are my looks. What do you think? I definitely like look number 3 the best. I feel most myself in this look, but I also really liked look number 1. Look number 1 was really pretty. I felt good in that one too. And I actually got a lot of compliments on look number 2 when I wore that to work. I guess I liked them all. 1 or 3 is probably my favorite though. All right, let's talk about the palettes. Like I said at the end of look number 2, I do feel like you don't get that much versatility with this versus like the Just My Luck palette. I feel like with that one you got more options, but these ones, they do tend to blend very similarly on the eyes. There are slight differences, of course, but for the most part you're gonna do very similar looks every time, but on the other hand, you can't really expect much else from a monochromatic palette. If you didn't want a lot of similar looks, then don't buy a monochromatic palette. If you are into these corally red tones and don't feel like you have very many of them, this could be a good palette to add to your collection. However, I feel like if you love these kinds of tones, you probably already have these colors. And if you don't have any colors like these, think to yourself, is it a color that I'm gonna wear? Because there's a chance that it's not in your collection for a reason. Maybe these just aren't your colors. But overall, this is a good palette, same standard good Colourpop quality. I'm not saying you have to have it. I'm not saying skip it. I'm happy that I have it. It's a cute palette. It was really fun to play with. I like these corally red tones. I kind of like that it does lean a little more corally red than true red, just because I've really been in that vibe lately with my hair and just trying to stick with those corally tones for the summer. Trying to just have a little bit of summer spirit up in here because I hate summer. But overall, the palette was fun to play with. It was easy to use. I don't feel like you have to be a master at makeup to make this palette work for you. It's not overly pigmented to the point where you have to be very cautious. It blends out really easy. Everything just, I feel like it's just an easy palette, you know what I mean? But what do you guys think? Which look was your favorite? Do you guys have this palette? Do you want this palette? I want to chat with you in the comments below about this palette. I also want to know which of the monochromatic palettes Colourpop has released is your favorite. I only have this one in the Just My Luck, but I have a feeling Just My Luck would be my favorite. Even if I had Blue Moon, which I don't, I think Just My Luck would still be my favorite because it's a really pretty green palette. I really dig it. Next week's 3 Looks 1 palette is either going to be the Menagerie Whale Song or the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker. I will have polls being run. There's a chance I will have already started filming one of them by the time this goes up. And yeah, I guess that's really all I have to say. If you're not already, please hop over to my Instagram. It's beautbean. Follow me there. I post every single day. And don't forget to subscribe here before you leave. I post at least 5 days a week. But really it's 6 or 7. I post almost every day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.